Oh my God, look at the state of this engine. It's totally destroyed.
As you can see, the front left wheel is completely dislodged from the axle. The connecting rods are severely bent and misaligned.
The entire boiler is cracked and the side panel is ripped open. Look at this rust, it's completely compromised.
We're focusing on the undercarriage today. As you can see, the oil leak here is extensive, and the rust on this axle is incredibly thick.
Okay, the replacement wheel is almost at the axle. This thing weighs a ton. Look at the state of this thing. Definitely the source of the issue. Pulling it clear now. All right, let's see how this new belt holds up. Nice and smooth. See this split here? We got to catch this runoff before it covers the whole floor. Just sliding the pan under now. All right, getting this coupling loose is the tricky part. There we go. Slow and steady now, and that should do it. Just like that, nice clean strip on the red wire. Now for the yellow one, got to keep it steady. So we're just tightening the mounting screws now, making sure this new headlight is seated properly before we hook up the power.
So the headlights are done, now we're tackling this shattered cab glass. It's slow going, but we have to be precise to avoid cutting ourselves or damaging the frame further.
All right, getting the new seal pressed into the frame now.
Making sure the tension is just right as we work our way up the side here.
We're tightening these in a clockwise pattern to secure the new glass. You can see the difference against the old rust.
All right, the tension is finally off the hoist. Let's get this chain unhooked from the stack. All right, everyone, circling the front now. The smokestack is finally corrected, though you can still see the crack on the boiler plate. Headlights are fully functional.
All right, this panel is heavy. Let's see if we can get it lined up right here.
We're slowly moving the brace up the crack now. It's a tight fit with all this rust, but once it clunks into place, we're ready for the next step.
All right, we're moving left to right, making sure each one of these bolts is properly torqued down on the reinforcement strip. See, the structural crack is fully stabilized now. Just cleaning up the grinder dust before we prime it. Okay, the puller is set. Let's see if we can make some progress on this heavy crease. It's really fighting back. All right, another pump here. You can really hear that metal stretching now. We're almost there on this side. So you can see the difference here. The gray primer looks smooth, but we still have a lot of rust to deal with further back.
And here we go, spraying the rear boiler patch. You can see the gray primer disappearing under the new gloss coat, right over those welded repairs. Okay, getting into the sanding now. This mid-boiler section is heavily oxidized, so it's taken some effort.
All right, we're laying down the first coat of primer on the boiler patch now, making sure we get full coverage over that weld seam.
Hitting the mid-right boiler patch now, we want nice, smooth, horizontal passes to cover that gray primer completely.
The paintwork on the right side is finally done. It's still a little wet, but the gloss is incredible, especially compared to the rear panels.
We're making progress on the right side. It's slow going, but we're finally getting down to bare metal here.
So we're just hitting this rear section with the sander now, trying to get all this pitted rust off before we prive it.
I'm just wiping this down with solvent now, getting rid of any sanding dust before we apply the primer. All right, so we're just wiping down this newly sanded section with solvent to make sure the primer adheres correctly. We're using this solvent cloth to wipe down the bare metal here on the cab exterior. Got to get it perfectly clean before we apply the primer. Look at that finish. The green is absolutely flawless. We finally got the coat on the cab. Just look at that reflection. Wiping this down with a degreaser now, making sure we have a clean surface for the primer coat. We're slowly inspecting the freshly painted cab exterior panels. The gloss on this bright green is exactly what we wanted, a real wet look. All right, just cleaning off the last of the sanding dust here with the solvent before we prime this section.
We finally got the main cab exterior finished. The green paint is looking incredibly gloss under these lights.
All right, everyone, stepping inside the cab for the very first time since the restoration. Let's fire her up.